You're listening to the Impact Implosion on the Angry Marks Podcast Network.
Valentine's Day, February 14th, 2015. It is another episode of the Impact Implosion. As always, I am Seth Draken, and on the other end is the man who's eyeing Mike Poland.
We have a lot to cover tonight. We've got one night only, and we've got two impacts to cover this week.
Yes, we do. Let's start with the one night only and TNA rivals.
From Roanoke Rapids, North Carolina.
Although Taz couldn't kept calling it Virginia.
Or calling it Rolling Rapids.
I was waiting for Taz to call it Rolling Rock.
Anyway, we start off with a video package for Gail Kim and Taryn Terrell.
We started off with JB welcoming us to the show, who he still had hair.
I'm not bald yet.
Yep, not bald yet. And this is the opener, and I guess you got to start it in hot, so...
Why not?
Yeah, Taryn Terrell saw a fan with the Taryn Terrell cloth banner, gave him a kiss on the cheek.
Uh-huh.
And like we mentioned earlier, the Roanoke Rapids, North Carolina thing was at an actual theater, so different setup.
Uh-huh, that is correct. And we start off with them exchanging holds in the beginning.
Oh, but actually, not to be outdone, Gail Kim gives a girl a hug in the crowd, and Taz calls himself a superhero in the broadcast booth.
Super Taz.
Also, Taz said, hey, if something is on the internet, it must be fact.
Yep.
So, yeah, go on.
Anyway, yes, we start off with the two exchanging holds in the ring, and we basically have that for the first couple minutes, and we have a standoff, and then we have, what do we have? We had Gail working over the leg early on, and then we had a spot where Taryn jumps off, sends Gail off the stage, and then lands the crossbody off the stage.
Yeah. And Taryn Terrell is bleeding from the mouth.
Yes.
Somebody call Isaac Yankum.
I'm sure he's busy doing something else right now.
Yeah, he's Corporate Kane right now.
Yep. Anyway, yes, we have the exchange of finishers towards the end of this match, which is about 15 minutes long, so... We have Taryn landing the RKO, but no cover is made. Gail lands the Eat Defeat, which...
Only gets a 2 count.
Yep, and then I think Gail misses something off the ropes, and Taryn hits the RKO and wins the match.
Well, what they call it a cutter for some reason.
Same thing.
Yeah.
And we have a James Storm Mr. Anderson video package.
Yep. And James Storm was without the Revolution.
Well, we'll see Sonata later in the match.
Yeah, I know, but they didn't come out. They weren't out there with him for the when he came out.
Yep.
And Mr. Anderson waited for the mic to drop. Since there's no wire for the mic to drop, JB just had to hand him the mic.
Yep.
So, what happened?
This match is okay. I mean, you just had the red hot opener, so you need a cool down. And basically what happens here is Storm works over the leg, and then Anderson comes back, and Sonata comes out, and Anderson gets the roll up and gets sent into a kick to the head, and Storm lands the last call and scores the win.
By the way, I tried to mute out the commentary, but today when Taz is trying to tell you to get to the damn match, stop talking about Ed Sable or whatever the hell else you're talking about.
Football.
Yeah, stop talking about it.
I think we had a backstage bit next, but I don't have the recap in front of me.
Yeah, we had EY talking about being at a Monsters Ball with another one of his former...
Well, he's facing Abyss, I guess originally was a normal match. Scheduled as a normal match.
Well, he's talking about it like it's a Monsters Ball match. So
right.
you gotta love this. You gotta love the booking behind this. We'll get to more of that later. We have next is a Fatal 4-Way X Division elimination match. Kenny King, Great Sonata, DJ Z, and Samoa Joe.
All four of them are heels now.
Yeah. By the way, Samoa Joe and Kenny King not on the same side in this match.
I also not sure if I like the booking of this match, where you had Samoa Joe go through all the guys. I think Kenny King should have eaten the fall here and maybe had Sonata get the win.
I think there was a weird spot where DJZ tried a top rope splash, but Joe had his back turned and Joe was walking away, so...
Oh, they've done that spot before.
What the hell? Joe didn't even see Sonata there, so, I mean...
No,
DJZ
they've done that
there.
spot where he's kind of just I think he's essentially just fucking with the guy.
Yeah. Then all three men are teaming up on Samoa Joe, and today starts doing history lessons about random shit.
And yet Tad's gonna cut him off.
Yeah. So, Muscle Buster by Joe to eliminate DJZ, then a Kikina Clutch to eliminate Sonata.
And then for some reason Sonata stays at ringside and they get him they position it right in the right corner where Sonata's is. As Joe goes for the Muscle Busters, King goes for a sunset flip and Sonata misses him.
Yep. So, then we had Rude talk about his match with MVP, saying MVP has been the person that pissed him off the most.
Interesting, considering past rivalries.
Then we have Bram talking about being the new King of Hardcore.
Video package, yep. And then he's taking on Gunner.
Yeah, for some reason this is happening. Never knew these two had any sort of rivalry.
Just two guys that showed up that day. We have an extra 10 minutes to spill. Phil, why don't you guys fight?
Yeah. Gunner with the U.S. Marines banner. Justin hopes to get a few more cheers. Remember, you gotta cheer because he used to be one.
Nah.
Yeah.
In any event, this is basically nothing here. Doesn't really fit on this card, but then again, you had the four-way, which there's no real issues between those four either. Just getting guys on the show.
Yeah, but then again, they're all X Division stars, so they will wrestle. They've wrestled each other many times, so.
Right. But this match, well, did Bram and Gunner ever wrestle each other? They might have.
I think they might have once, and stupid Samuel Shaw interfered.
Yep. And they have the awkward spot at the end where Gunner goes for the sunset flip bomb, and
Bram just sits on him.
not even hold the ropes or nothing.
Nope, he just sits on him. 1, 2, 3.
I was wondering at first if that was a botch. Did he actually mess up?
Yeah, I'm like, you're not holding onto the ropes? What the hell?
No, Gunner's just an idiot.
If Gunner just can't kick out of this one. So then we have EC3 coming into the ring with Rockstar Spud.
Oh, before that, they have a Kurt Angle and EC3 package, but that's not the match that we're going to see.
Nope. EC3's not even, Kurt Angle's not even here.
Whoops.
So EC3 laughs off the show and says, I have no rivals.
Well, your main rival that they focused on isn't in the building, so you might be right.
Yeah, he responds,
unless they can find Norm Furnham and Dewey Barnes.
Yeah, the fans say, you can't wrestle. He's like, I disagree. I'm very good. By the way, Rockstar Spud sporting his army-colored suit and tie today.
Good God.
So EC3 makes the huge mistake of calling himself the greatest professional wrestler alive.
Cue Austin Aries.
The greatest man that ever lived. Who is like, you know what? Let's start a rivalry since you're pissing me off.
And drop kicks him right before the bell rings.
Yep.
Yay.
We had a last answery by Aries.
EC3 gets the ropes.
Thanks to Spud, of course.
And Aries chases him around, and EC3 clotheslines him.
Yep. Then we have a nice small package into a powerbomb by EC3. I think he's done that a few times.
Yep.
Then we have EC3 go for the 1%er, but countered into a discus punch.
Yep. Aries goes for the brainbuster, Spud hooks the leg, and EC3 falls on top and gets the win.
And Matt, meanwhile, Tenay is basically saying, how did Earl not see that? Because Spud had to slide into the ring to do it.
Yep. And then, speaking of Spud getting drug into the ring,
yep,
he takes a brainbuster.
But before that, we had a celebration between what used to be the two best friends you could ever have.
Yep.
So, this was actually a good match.
Yes. Yep.
And a match that we have never seen before.
Yes, actually, I think that is correct.
We have never seen it. I have looked, we have never seen EC3 versus Aries. So, good job.
Yep. And then we go to
Abyss laughing and cutting a promo about AY being his rival and talks about Joseph Park.
He brought out the best in you and he made you world champion.
And then he talks about this being a wrestling match. And I'm like, what? This is supposed to be Monsters Ball, numbnuts.
No, initially it was booked as a regular match.
I know, but the hype video, everything says this is a Monsters Ball match.
Well, that's because that's what their feud was.
I know, no, but the hype video said this is going to be a Monsters Ball match. Basically hypes this up, and for some reason, this is supposed to be a regular match. Hype it up as a Monsters, and then they decide to make it Monsters Ball.
Overthinking.
Despite all the hype before saying it was Monsters Ball, turning into a regular match, and then remaking it a Monsters Ball. And today, God bless him, tries to say, this is a bonus for this show. And I'm like, no. But you hyped in your damn montages and card beforehand. This is not a bonus. This is expected.
And this is about the same Monsters Ball match we usually get.
By the way, fans wanting Janice, what kind of whore does this crowd take her for?
We want Janice.
And this crowd, EY is catapulting the turnbuckle with the steel chair lodged into it. The crowd still wants Janice. Man, Janice doesn't get around. I guess you might want to change girls, Abyss. And then the fans want Tax. But Abyss has found Janice, the Tax, and EY's found a cheese grater. You can kind of guess where this goes for Abyss.
Oh, not good.
Yeah. EY with the elbow drop off the top rope, a la Macho Man for the win.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh, yeah. Ooh, yeah. Macho Madness.
EY Madness.
Yep. Next we have a match that, oh dear God, they're doing this again. This may be a rivalry, but a rivalry I wish would end. Madison Rayne versus Angelina Love.
This didn't need to happen on this show, at least.
No, it didn't. And Angelina comes out alone. Wonder if they already knew that Velvet was going to be gone.
Well, she wasn't with... Velvet wasn't with her at the last one night only either.
I know. I wonder if they knew. But, well, if anyone has need for a bathroom break needed, this match is where you might want to use it.
This was not good.
This was a short CM Punk chant.
Yep. Angelina gets the win after...
By the way, best part, Madison gets knocked off the top ropes, and you can still see her smiling. She is not selling getting knocked off the top ropes for any reason. She's like, hey!
I'm a face! Yay!
Yay!
Angelina gets the win with a roll-up.
Madison does the head-humping move that they call the scissor stomp. I call it head-humping.
Yes, it's a scissor stomp.
I call it head-humping, because that's what it looks like. Angelina wins with roll-ups and the hands on the tights.
Yep. Next is Rude and MVP.
Well, MVP, as first does a segment, he talks about what Bobby Roode's talking about is revisionist history. You put your hands on me, so I suspended you.
Yep, that did happen.
Yeah. MVP's kind of right here. Not you, Bobby.
And then MVP's like, this was all it's going to be the same as they all every time we face, except that I'm pretty sure Rude beat you in a street fight at one point.
Rude beat you defending the title too.
Yes, so that is revisionist history for you.
I know. MVP gets to an argument with a little girl, and her dad has to step in.
And this match goes about 3 minutes.
Because Rude goes for a Rude bomb, but Kenny King attacks for a DQ finish. EY comes out to save Rude. The crowd chants for tag team. And Theodore Long would be proud.
You're going to have a tag team match, player.
Yep, we going to have a tag team match, player. And we got one, because Earl Hebner decided, okay, we're doing this. And since there's no authority here, it's a tag match. And today likes to talk about how there's 3 backup announcers just in case one get taken out. And I'm like, keep talking today. I'm going to want to test that idea.
And one was Simon Diamond.
I know. Simon Diamond.
Tony Schiavone.
I'm like, keep talking, buddy, about this crap and not focusing on the match. I'm willing to test this theory.
Usually it's the fans who have ADD, not the announcers.
I know. MVP takes the ball and move and just goes for the pin.
Yep.
To piss off the fans. We have a double R spine buster by Bobby Roode. He calls it a double R spine buster, but it's Bobby. So gets
Now,
the
Bobby
hot
Buster.
tag on EY. MVP fakes a knee injury, so no one can see King give EY a royal flush.
And that's the match.
Actually, MVP hits the blackout kick on EY, and they get the win.
I don't like the blackout kick.
Well, they can't call it the drive-by anymore for some reason.
Oh, no, I just don't like it as a finish. It looks kind of odd. Maybe it's a position that Eric Young took it in, I don't know.
Okay. Magnus talks about winning the world title, Final Resolution, and his rivalry of Jeff Hardy. Because this is the main event, and Magnus hinting that this was a ladder match, when it was the Clusterfuck Dixie match, and even the freaking montage shows it's the Dixieland match. Even the montage is telling Magnus, you're full of bullshit. I beat Jeff in Jeff's own match. Huh? In a match in favor of Jeff Hardy. Really? So, basically, main event Magnus versus Jeff Hardy. No,
Yes.
Originally I said Magnus versus Hardy, and I was like, no, this is Jeff Hardy, not Matt Hardy, Greg Hardy, or any other Hardy.
There's a Greg Hardy?
Football player.
Oh. This was a quick match. This was like a 10-minute match where they did like 20 minutes worth of stuff.
Jeff Hardy's face paint. The freaking face paint with the eyes. I hate that.
Hashtag Jeff Hardy's face paint.
Because it keeps reminding me that Jeff Hardy's probably sleeping and he has face paint in his eyelids so people will think he's awake.
Yeah.
And there was a nice elbow to the face by Magnus that actually looked like it legit hurt. Yeah, you could hear it and you're like, yeah, that looked like that hurt. Magnus goes old school with the abdominal stretch.
Rick
and the
Rotunda
ropes.
would be proud.
Yep, with the ropes. And then Taz calls Jeff maybe the greatest of the GOAT. Greatest of all time. And I'm like, the only way Hardy is a GOAT is if if you're talking about he was the GOAT for how bad the one Victory Road main event was.
And then we have the finish of the match, which is Jeff. I hate the 2 twists of fate thing. It doesn't look right.
The twist of fate off the top, reverse off the top rope.
No, I like that. No, before that, he hits one twist of fate. Magnus doesn't go down. He hits the second one, and then doesn't score a pin. Doesn't go for a pin.
Yeah, that's stupid. But
yeah.
I think he does that because somebody fucks up the selling of it, and Hardy doesn't like it. So.
Yep.
So anyway, Hardy twist of fate, Swanton bomb for the win. Overall, I give this show a B- because it was good.
It was good.
Other than some of the matches not neat, but even those matches were kind of.
The stuff that didn't need to be there was quick. Marginally quick. And it was put in the right place for the most part.
So let's look at news.
News! The Great Muta will be wrestling on Monday night's One Night Only taping. Or one of them. He's wrestling either Sunday or Monday.
By the way, the Impact preview for the Fallout of Lockdown had a glitch, which made people joke about, is Solomon Crow coming to TNA?
He's hacked TNA.
Yep, he's hacked him. And that is it, actually.
On to Lockdown.
On to Lockdown.
Where we start with tag titles.
Yep, by the way, I gotta mention this because the Impact replay before the show is basically pop-up videos. I actually made the mistake of seeing one of those, and pop-up videos were showing up on it. I was like, huh?
Yep, that makes sense.
So anyways, they were showing a montage of all of this, and I was like, dear God, Angle better not be doing a moonsault off the cage.
Nope, we'll get into that later.
I will be fucking pissed if he does. Seriously. He doesn't need to do that anymore. And Taz and Taz say, we are live at ringside for this show, and I'm like, bullshit.
This was taped a month ago.
It was like, bullshit, you're not live. You're not at ringside, you're in the booth. You're at the TNA HQ booth. So, we have the tag title match first. And since we're starting with that first, knowing what happened, we're gonna get the scary shit out of the way first.
Yep.
And Taz is like, I can't see there are many tag team better tag teams legacy-wise than the Hardy Boys. I'm like, yeah, there's several.
Road Warriors.
Legion of Doom, Road Warriors,
Midnight Express?
yeah.
No.
Fabulous Freebirds.
Yep. Von Erichs, and not the ones that are wrestling at the Impact the tapings this weekend.
Oh, no. So, before we start off the match, Manic gets handcuffed because he comes in.
Whoops.
And I'm like, be careful with Manic being handcuffed, considering the whole initiation into the Revolution. He may just feel at home. And then we had a moment where James Storm was standing on Abyss for I think it was a splash or something off Abyss.
Yep.
And I was like, I think Abyss is used to James Storm standing on him in meetings. All right, Abyss, let me stand on you. Meeting is in order.
Dumb.
Yep. Then, for some strange reason, Koya grabs Matt and grabs him through that situation where the cameras are supposed to be in the ring, those little holes. And I'm like, shouldn't the Hardy Boys have won here?
Maybe.
I'm like, seriously, he's out of the cage.
I think it's both guys had to escape, kind of like the one that Hardy's and Edge and Christian here had years back.
No, it's kind of a situation where, they basically said now, they explained that you can't leave through the camera holes. They might have wanted to explain that before the match. So Jeff is in there one-on-one. Manic gets freed from his handcuffs because Abyss does a judo chop.
Mm-hmm.
And Jeff tries to do a swanton bomb, gets missed in the face.
Eats a super kick.
Tag titles are retained by the Revolution.
Yep.
Then we get the scary spot where Jeff gets his nuts on the door, not intentionally. Then James Storm hits him with the cowbell, and Jeff falls awkwardly onto the steel steps.
Ugh.
And the fans are chanting TNA, unconcerned by the fact that Jeff Hardy is legit knocked out.
This is a New York crowd.
I know. And I'm like, so Storm, for some reason, decides to continue his kayfabe, trying to beat him up. And I'm like, Storm, if he's legit knocked out and there's guys there, kinda might just want to leave.
Correct.
And somebody said, get Jeff Hardy a Z-Pack. So they take Jeff Hardy to the back as he slowly walks back, and the fans are now concerned, and MVP has an offer Kurt can't refuse. Angle better look out for a severed head in his bed. And we get a return of a legend next week. Wonder who that can be. Considering the silhouette there, it's not a legend.
Yep.
It's a guy you consider a legend, but is not. Also, we had the Teenage Shop Zone commercial, which Rebel kisses you, and it spells out TNAshop.com. Yeah, that's not weird whatsoever. And Kenny King with the bandana over the mouth, thinking he's Michael Tarver.
Right.
So then we have Angle, fuck yeah, coming to save the motherfucking day, yeah, Angle, fuck yeah, freedom is the only way, yeah, to MVP, your day is through, 'cause now you have to answer to Angle, fuck yeah, do-do-do-do-do-do.
Ha.
Is it sad that the puppets in that movie have more of a neck than Angle?
Probably.
So, BDC does a hit and run, was all a setup, because Angle says no to their proposed walk away method. So they hurt Gunner. They slam his arm against the cage.
Yep.
So the doctors are now checking on Gunner's shoulders, and Gunner's like, I'm still wrestling. Not only that, I'm going number one. Guess Gunner's a Seattle Seahawks fan. Considering the injuries they had, they were still playing. So who will win between Awesome Kong and Havoc? Hint, this is Havoc's last TNA match.
No, it's not.
It's not?
No, she's on the one night only taping for the Hardcore Justice show against Gail Kim.
Wow, I was surprised, but this is her last match of the show.
Yeah, probably on the Knockouts Knockdown one they're taping right now, too.
Okay, because she's on Shine now, so...
Well, I think they can work indies. I think she just couldn't work the UK shows, maybe.
I don't know. Whatever. But anyway, the crowd thinks that the match is starting. So, okay, Awesome Kong versus Havoc. They're fighting on the outside. The crowd is saying, this is awesome. I'm like, they haven't even gotten the damn ring yet. This can't be called awesome already.
Actually. I did like this match. This was fine.
And TNA mentioned Havoc Kong's cup of coffee with the WWE.
Mm-hmm. Havoc or Kong? You said Havoc Kong.
I mean, Kong. I meant Kong. My bad. Kong's cup of coffee with WWE. And then Kong sold the Harlot Slayer the choke slam, that's Havoc's finisher, just like Warrior did to Triple H's pedigree at WrestleMania 12.
But that aside, this was a fun little cage match with two women.
Don't know. I was rather disappointed in this match.
I'd give it maybe 3, maybe 2.5.
I'd give it 2 1/4.
Okay.
Yeah, it was. I was expecting better.
Yeah, probably, and plus it's probably more of a money match on TV, like one that we're going to see in a few weeks with Lashley and Angle.
Taz is like, this war's not over, and I'm like,
yeah, it is.
Yeah, it is. So, better than Divas chance? Well, of course it is.
Doesn't take much, unless you're talking about NXT.
So then we get a backstage segment of Velvet telling Angelina that she got fired.
Oh, God, this segment.
Aw, you got fired, aw.
She leaves?
Finally.
Thank God that's over.
So Franklin is arriving, and yes, that's Lashley for y'all, because that's his real first name.
The big black turtle.
Yep, the big turtle.
Franklin.
So then we have EY versus Bobby Roode, and this better be better than their last encounter.
What, the no DQ?
Yeah, I was disappointing between these two.
Well, that's because it was only 5 minutes long, too.
That's true. But this was kind of better than that match.
Yep.
Bobby is threatening to kill EY.
I'm gonna make you bleed.
And I'm gonna kill you. So, crowd wants blood. Consider these two have threatened to make the other one bleed. It's one of the most sensical chants on the show.
Unfortunately, in this day and age, we're probably not gonna see blood.
No, we got blood.
Oh, we did.
EY bladed.
Yeah.
EY freaking bladed. Yeah.
TNA ain't afraid of that hepatitis.
No. No, we got blood here. So, if they're gonna basically hype all this, you might as well have somebody bleed.
Right.
So, Rude screams at EY about how you used to be my friend and...
You were supposed to be my friend!
And all that stuff, and... Nails EY with the chair repeatedly, then hits a Rude bomb onto the chair for the 3 count.
Yeah, but this feud will not end.
Nope.
We'll get into.
This was actually a pretty good match.
Yes, yep.
Tell the story, got it done. Then Angle talks to Franklin. Franklin tries to walk away. Angle stops him and tries to talk him into joining Team Angle. He gets into a safe and says, wake your ass up.
Yep. And it's at main event time?
Nope, it's handicap 6 sides of steel cage.
Oh, God.
Tyrus versus Mark Andrews. I refuse to freaking call him Mandrews.
Mandrews!
His name is Mark Andrews. I am not calling him that shit.
Mandrews.
Rockstar Spud. This match, God bless Spud, Andrews, and EC3 trying to work this, but freaking Tyrus sucks.
Somebody call his mama.
Someone also needs to shave that thing off his face. By the way, Spot of the Night, Rockstar Spud, senton off the cage onto Tyrus.
Yep.
And EC3 had to bail Tyrus out of this match, taking Andrews out of the ring and knocking him out so Tyrus can face Spud 101, and he has Umaga's finisher now.
And it sucks.
And then EC3 is like, it's scalping time! Yep. So he plugs in the razor, gets in the ring to shave Spud's head, and JP unplugs him.
Oopsie.
Seriously. So during the break, Bobby Roode talks about his plans now to move on and try to get back the world title. Then we had a segment of a montage of before the show, we had a lockdown race between Robbie E. and Brooke Tessmacher, which Brooke won. And if you're wondering why this was basically like this match was so bad they cut it.
Yep.
Yes, this was terrible.
Next.
Now we get to Lethal Lockdown.
Yep.
And the first man of the BDC is Kenny King. And on Team Angle is the Hurt Gunner. And I'm like, since Gunner's coming out second, does this mean the faces are getting the man advantage? I was actually thinking that would be smart considering Gunner's hurt.
No.
I was actually
Dean Ambrose.
going to give TNA credit.
Not quite.
So
The heels always get the man advantage in this match.
Yep. BDC, it's a healthy Kenny King and a hurt Gunner. Gunner's getting beaten up. So then the BDC continues their beat up with Low Key.
Well, they are the beatdown clan, so they are living the gimmick.
So then next comes Austin Aries, and who uses the racket, the tennis racket.
Jim Cornette would be proud.
Yep.
And
we have
then we'll probably rant about it somewhere.
Then Samoa Joe does some stuff. Then Kurt Angle comes out. And the final member of the Beatdown Clan coming in is MVP. And since this is supposedly all the members, I would expect a top to the cage to close, since that happens at every lockdown. That after everyone comes in, the top of the cage closes. Not this time. So I asked TNA Creative, did you just scrap that for budget reasons?
Nope, there's one more coming.
And no, they also said, we had to use that thing as Abyss's bed. No, so, yeah, we did scrap it for budget reasons. Abyss's bed was the budget. So here comes Franklin.
I just imagine Abyss sleeping in like a cave somewhere.
Yeah.
They just wake him up whenever it's time to tape a show.
Yep.
It's time to go on.
Time to go,
James Storm needs you.
Yep. The Revolution needs you, buddy. Actually, no, we're kidding. The Revolution just needs, James Storm just needs you to be his podium.
His big giant horse.
Yes. He needs to stand on you. It's a meeting time, so.
Giddy up, Abyss.
Yeah. So here comes Franklin, who teases being on Team Angle. Teases being on MVP's team.
Extra long handshake.
Yep. Then, screws with them and says he's on Team Angle. He spears MVP for the win with all the other faces giving their BDC counterparts, submission moves.
I know there was people I was with when I was watching this the next morning, because I was at a show that Friday night, that was saying that was not a good finish.
No, it wasn't. I gave this show a C+, better than last week's show, but that's all I can say.
Right, yeah. And now we are in Scotland for a show where they talked a lot.
By the way, best part, BDC in continuity comes in the Scottish limo.
With
the minivan.
Hyper driving.
No, it's the minivan that's supposedly a Scottish limo. You do remember the last time they did that with the minivan.
Yeah.
Yes, continuity. So, we start oh no, I'm still at Rivals, damn it. Hold on, gotta get to.
We start with Kurt Angle coming out and thanking Aries and Gunner and then calling out Lashley.
Or Franklin, as I like. I'm still calling him Franklin. By the way, I had to admit, I kind of missed it when it aired because I forgot this show was on that night. So I had to watch the replay.
Yep.
And meanwhile, Joss and Taz are in Nashville while everyone's overseas because fuck flying overseas for our announcers.
We can't afford that, but we'll fly everybody else over there.
So Angle wants to shake Franklin's hand, and Franklin accepts. And then Angle says, hey, you remember when I said I didn't want your title last week? Well, I'm changing that. I want your title.
I want my title shot.
I want your belt. So BDC has new music, and at least it sounds a little more like Wu-Tang Clan than before. And then audio issues.
MVP comes out with a microphone and says that since Lashley was not officially in the match, the lockdown match.
Never happened.
It never happened. Well, the fall never happened.
Yep. So
trying to do the old Triple H Jericho thing.
By the way, the crowd was louder than the freaking microphone.
Yay, TNA, cheap microphones, yay.
Yes. And Franklin says, you know what? 2 of you versus me and Kurt Angle. And Kurt's fine with this.
Yes, that's not good continuity.
Yep. So Rude is in the arena.
5 minutes ago, I wanted to fight you. Now we'll be your tag partner. That's fine.
Rude is in the arena. Aries wants to talk about the match they are going to be a part of. And it reminds us the greatness of the Dirty Heels.
Yes, who apparently took on the Wolves in the one night only Joker's Wild tape earlier today.
So, and EC3's like, I'm used to getting things I want. And I want Spud's head. So EC3 has become Francis Buxton from Pee-wee's Big Adventure. Is he going to want his bicycle?
Somebody stole my bike!
Yeah. So, tonight's going to be Spud, Andrews, Borash versus EC3 and Tyrus in a handicap match.
And this time more than normal, I wonder who's really at the handicap, because you got a non-wrestler and 2 small guys.
Yeah, versus 2 guys. And so, this is top 5 thing is going to be key in deciding the final 5 entrances in the supposed 20-man gauntlet for the world title match next week.
I'm curious how long they actually stick to this top 5 thing. They've actually been doing it for like a month, I guess.
And since the match already happened, it was taped, the top 5's already been predetermined.
Yes.
So, and I seriously hate this top 5 crap. Really.
Nobody tried it before. They tried it before when Hogan first started in 2010.
Yeah, it just doesn't work.
It doesn't work.
Because they fuck it up.
Creative gets confused and says, wait, who was number 1 last week? Let's change that.
Yeah. Aries then sells a buff blockbuster completely was on his back, then flips to his stomach immediately after taking it.
Yep.
By the way, we have Aries versus Rude right now. I forgot to mention that.
Yes.
Then we had a suicide dive by Aries, which he misses, and Snake Eyes the steel barrier.
Which he did against Nigel McGuinness in Ring of Honor a few years back, too.
Then we have the crossface by Bobby Roode. Aries tries to reverse it, tries to get into a pin combination. Rude turns it around to back to the crossface. Aries taps. Good match between the two. Really, probably match of the night.
Yep.
Then we got the Code of Honor, where both shake hands.
And here comes Eric Young.
Rude says, this victory, it is about time for him to get his world title back. And then EY attacks
3, which
never happened. Even he says he never happened, which it did happen. You lost.
Yeah.
EY attacks Rude from behind, gives him a pile driver, then gives him a pile driver onto the stage as they were helping him to the back. And according to the crowd, EY sold out. What did he sell out to? Stupid Scots. So now Al Snow is in the ring.
Oh man, he's gonna call out Grado.
Yep. Audio issues return because I can barely hear what Al Snow is saying.
He's saying that Grado does not deserve to be in TNA. Basically shitting on Grado and calls him out and then goes to his mother who's in the crowd for some reason because those angles always turn out well.
He wants Grado to quit before next week where they will fight. So Grado tells him no. Al Snow disrespects his parents, tries to tell them to get him to quit. Grado chases Al Snow off and Al Snow says, that's it, fine. If you beat me, I'll shake your hand, but I don't think you can. So it's the only person on the menagerie left with Crazy Steve as he fights Bram because Rebel's not here.
Did Nux not make it across the border either?
No. No, Nux didn't make it across the border. Rob Terry didn't. The Freak is gone.
Yeah.
So Bram basically squashes Crazy Steve, calling for Magnus. And Matt tells Magnus to find me. Nice colored kilt suit by Rockstar Spud.
We're tigers.
We are lions and tigers. I have backup. So Gunner talks to Angle about wanting to be world champion himself and is like, are you sure this idea with teaming with Franklin is a good idea? And Angle's like, look, I know you have my back. This is a fine idea. So you know what's going to happen. Probably later.
Yeah.
So EC3 and Tyrus versus Spud, Andrews, and Borash, and EC3 has a cordless razor this time. And they joke about how they could have used it last week. And they also mention that since JB is wrestling, they had to call SoCal Val to do the ring announcements. for the
Because
show.
Christy Hemme couldn't make it across the border.
Yep. She couldn't make it across the border either. The hell happened? I can't make it across overseas. I'm scared of flying.
Anyways.
So, they really made Tyrus, Spud, and Andrews look bad to make Tyrus look good. They really did. EC3 tags himself in when JB tags himself in, and after an initial offense by JB, EC3 takes over. Then Spud comes in, EC3 tags out, and EC3 will only tag in after Tyrus does the dirty work. By the way, Tyrus is fucking terrible.
Funky is on a roll.
It's not the funky stuff. It is, some of his selling is horrible.
Probably because he never had to do it as Brodus Clay.
Yeah, he cannot sell. What the hell is wrong with him? Tyrus, you're not that good. You wonder why you were in developmental forever before they finally brought you up.
And then they put you in a tag team after a while.
And they took your idea of the Hall of Pain and gave it to Mark Henry. Because you know what? We'd rather have we trust Mark Henry more with this Hall of Pain than you. So JB nearly kills himself jumping on the Tyrus because Tyrus is terrible and Tyrus barely catches him. But JB's legs still hit the floor before he falls. EC3 gets the 1%er on Spud who was distracted and they win.
Yep.
EC3 is planning on shaving Spud bald. Lights
Mr. Anderson is back.
Mr. Anderson is on the two like, we're gonna fight together. Poked both of them in the eyes.
Low blow on Tyrus.
Yep.
And he's the backup.
Destination America hyped this as a return for a legend. I would like to mention that Anderson fought Spud on Implosion 2 weeks ago. This is not a return.
Well, that Implosion was also taped back in September, would be my guess, or like a couple months ago.
Still counts. Still counts. So now Gunner gets beat up by the BDC after he talks about getting a title shot. Predictable as hell. Madison
Next
is out. She calls herself the Queen Bee. Dun dun.
What is this, Law and Order? Somebody having problems with the music.
A single one that can beat her. Dun 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 dun. So, yes, her opponent is Awesome Kong.
Yes, thanks for telegraphing that.
Yep. Awesome Kong basically squashes Madison Rayne, hits the implant buster for the win.
Yep. Next.
Matt comes out, is going to address the crowd about Jeff Hardy's health status. And Angle just told Aries he's in his seat. And, you just tapped out to Bobby Roode. And he's like, yeah, I know. If you become champion, you'll have huge bullseyes on your back. I have this briefcase. So here comes Matt to talk about his brother's health. And he doesn't know.
Hello?
There was some, hello?
Okay, good. I lost you for a second there.
So yeah, because there was this old thing, he used to give him his thumbs up, and he didn't do it this time.
Right.
So here comes the revolution. And James Storm brags about doing what everyone couldn't do in taking out Jeff Hardy, mentioning Edge, Christian, the Dudleys, and The Undertaker.
And Bobby Roode, Austin Aries, and,
Yeah, stop mentioning WWE guys.
No,
really.
It made sense here. That's fine.
So Storm gives Matt an ultimatum. Join the revolution or join Jeff in the hospital. We can make you
Jeff has a nice hospital bed.
So he fights. And the numbers get up to him.
But somehow the Wolves are able to come out and we have 3 against 5 and 3 can overpower 5.
Well, yeah, I guess.
That's bad math.
Franklin Lashley and Kurt Angle versus 2 members of the BDC. By the way, somewhat confusing. Sorry, hit my headphones. So, able for his cashing in, he's like, yeah, I have a timetable. It's half past a monkey's ass and a quarter past of a monkey's balls.
Oh, God.
It's in between those two. And he's like, you get a stupid answer for a stupid question. So, the BDC beats up Aries for whatever reason, and Taz tries to explain the BDC doesn't want Aries to cash in tonight because that could hurt the, BDC.
Right.
So, let me see if I can get this right. It's gonna hurt you that Aries might cash in tonight even though Franklin is is the champ and is your opponent, so he might have to watch his back, which might help you tonight, but that would hurt you if he has to watch his back, according to Taz. So,
Right.
if Taz, I could give 2 ideas on how Taz could have fixed this. 1, Taz could have said all that, and then mention the BDC if MVP wants to be the one to beat Lashley.
Yep.
Could have mentioned that. Or he could have said, Aries helped Angle last week, might help him again, so he doesn't want to take that chance. Could have said that. But no,
Yes.
he says Aries cashing in might hurt the BDC. Taz, you are a dumbass. So out comes the 2-member Franklin with his stupid Tron video back that looks like freaking David Flair from WWE's Tron, and it's Kurt Angle. The 2 members of the BDC will be MVP and Samoa Joe.
Yep.
MVP, the logo on the front of his shirt, I have no idea what the hell that is. AVC or something? I don't know what the fuck it says.
Maybe.
I don't know what that means. So, confused. We do get a 1 spot where Franklin jumps over Samoa Joe, which was nice. So, and to appease Kurt Angle, Franklin, the world champion, has to be the face in distress, and Angle has to be the face that makes the hot tag.
That makes sense. Not really.
So, then Kurt Angle becomes the face in distress, which makes more sense.
Yes.
And then we have this fucking finish.
I didn't see the match, so you're going to have to walk me through this.
So, here's the finish. They're beating up on the guys. Lashley is ready to spear the hell out of Samoa Joe, but Angle is right behind Samoa Joe, so he puts him in the ankle lock. Lashley is looking at him like, what the hell? Joe reverses Angle, throws him into Lashley. Lashley sidesteps him, so an MVP is able to get a roll-up with the hands on the tights.
Yep, that makes sense.
That makes total sense. And then after the match, as the Beatdown Clan is celebrating...
Angle and Lashley argue.
Yeah, because Franklin's looking at Kurt like, what the fuck? I had him!
I had him beat, you bastard!
What the fuck are you doing? He's like, I got him in the ankle lock. I can beat him. Yeah, nice.
No, you didn't.
You didn't. And you fucked me over. I give this show a B-, even though I said originally a C+, I give it a B-. Better
Well, you
than
said C+
Lockdown.
for Lockdown.
I know, I said C+ for Lock. This was better than the Lockdown.
Yes, yep. You're building towards Lashley and Angle and Lashley and MVP in the next few weeks. In the next several weeks.
This show finds ways to blow my fucking mind.
Yep.
With that finish. That finish was stupid. So anyway, that is all this week.
Mm-hmm.
And do you have anything to sell?
Well, I will not be here next Friday, as I will be in Island Falls for MEW, which will feature a Sonny Roselli and Tomahawk for 2 out of 3 falls. And on Saturday, in Fairfield, we'll feature Tomahawk versus Vern Vical to crown a new MEW main state champion. So I'm not sure what we're going to do for a show next week, unless we can all be here maybe next Sunday to do it.
Yeah, I have no idea either. But anyway, I have nothing to sell basically. So with that all said, Miley, we are going for a walk.
Yep.
Good night,
We'll
everybody.
See you soon. Bye.